I'm Honali, the mind behind Minds Together. Wow, bear with me. I'm a little camera shy, and this is really difficult for me all of a sudden. Okay, about me. My name is Honali, and I am 33 years old. I recently have started this foundation. Well, for a lot of reasons. One of them is that mental illness has been a pain in my ass all my life, has been a part of my life, all my life. My mother and my father are both schizophrenics, and I myself was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder when I was 25 years old. That was like 8 years ago now or so, and I've gotten a really good handle on surviving with this disease, I guess. We'll get into that deeper as time goes by and I get more comfortable talking to a camera. But this was just supposed to be a little bit about me, so I guess let me just say I was raised by my mother, who suffers from schizophrenia to a pretty high degree. She hasn't had a job for a really long time. It's totally disabled her in that respect. She did manage to raise 3 kids. Well, 2. One was taken away and ended up really being raised by an adopted family. That's my sister, my little sister, who I love dearly, and we'll get to her later as well. But as you can see already, mental illness can rip lives apart. It's ripped my mother's life apart, for sure. And it's something we all need to really pay attention to for a change. I don't think we put enough importance on mental health, the things that we can do to prevent the mental illness to begin with. There are certain things, predispositions, like family, heritage, whatever you want to call it, genes, that maybe will doom you anyway, but there's a lot of stuff you can do even with the genetic disposition to avoid actually having psychotic breaks. We'll talk about that too eventually and get more into that, but that's something else I want this whole foundation for. Help people understand what they can do for their loved ones too, and how they can help their loved ones understand it. There's so much about mental illness that even our science doesn't even know about. There's things we can't explain, so many phenomena that we can't explain when it comes to the human mind and the human brain. We don't even know that much about the human brain, and that is why mental illness remains such a mystery. Even to people like me who grew up seeing mental illness constantly, had a childhood plagued with it, and then in adulthood learned what it was like to actually be mentally ill from the inside. And I'll tell you, you think you would never believe some of the crazy things that you've seen others believe. Like, okay, I never thought I would believe some of the crazy shit I saw my mother believe. She believed some crazy stuff like midget blood in the chocolate milk, things that normal people would never think of. And even growing up as a child, I knew it was strange and wrong somehow. But I never knew for sure that she wasn't right. So, as a child, it was different growing up that way. But now as an adult, I myself have believed just as asinine, insane things. And when you're in the throes of that and you are feeling those things and hearing those things, you will believe it. Like, I'm getting off subject. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. Okay, basically the point is I'm starting this foundation so that we can talk about these subjects and open a forum and people can come together. As well as I want to go out in the community and do things to better, how should I say it, the environments as well as the mental states of those of us who are afflicted by the illnesses. Like, we went to the geriatrics unit and we had some of the patients take photos to replace the artwork in their unit. Because the sad truth is, people like me, even I myself, I have no children and I don't intend to have any, partly due to my genetics, as well as I don't have the stress level to raise a child. I would end up losing my child the way my mother lost my little sister. And that may sound all gloom and doom to you. You may think I'm being negative, and maybe I am, who knows. But I think I'm being smart and safe and trying to keep anyone else from being afflicted by poor genetics. So until we figure that one out, I think I'm doing the right thing there. I forgot what my point was. Well, I'm rambling again. I should probably just start this over. I probably will. But maybe not. So, I hate making videos, just to let you know, straight off from the beginning, so you'll understand when I end this one poorly. But I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea of what I'm getting at here. I want us all to do our best to understand more, understand each other. We've all got afflictions of mental illness, whether we know it or not, whether it's huge delusions or something minor, and even the minorest things can seem huge to you when they are afflicting you. But at any rate, this is a place, this is a site where we can try to teach each other, hopefully. Well, that's all for now. I hope that gives you a slightly better idea about me. Well, actually, one more thing. Okay, I guess I started to tell you, I was raised by my mother who was schizophrenic, and I grew up moving all over the United States, and even Mexico. But, so I'm well-traveled, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and, being exposed to the illness from the outside like that all my childhood, and then in my adulthood finally seeing the illness from the inside, gave me a huge amount of understanding on mental illness in general, but especially on schizophrenia and delusional thinking and hallucinations. But I have to say there is also another level to mental illness that people don't talk about, and probably won't want me to be talking about like this either, but it's the fact that sometimes those delusions and the things that people think are absolutely crazy, and I know I've been locked up in the hospital for thinking strange things, and I know for a fact that some of those things ended up later making sense and being the future. I mean, it seemed like delusional thinking at the time. Yeah, okay, I'm in love with a professor I've never even met. I guarantee you it's going to be an English professor. I guarantee you he's going to be raising a son by himself. I had all those delusions, and yet didn't meet that man for another 6 years, and then met him out of the blue. And anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. My point is that there are strange things. Okay, here's a short example. One time my mom was dog sitting. She was in a strange house, and she didn't know what channel their CNN was on. So she asked the dog. Sounds crazy, is crazy, she's crazy. She asked this dog what channel CNN was on, and I watched her change the channel. She said what channel he thought it was on, and she changed it. She could hear him, and it was the right channel. Which, I mean, if you think about it, that dog sits there all day long watching TV with his master. Of course he's going to have some idea what channel it's on. Okay, maybe that's totally asinine and insane, but it begs the question, how the hell did she know what channel it was on then? Why did she get it right? If that was all delusional, if that dog didn't really talk to her through thoughts or whatever you want to say, how the hell did she get that channel right? Was it just tapping into collective consciousness, maybe? Again, we don't know. Sorry, I keep cussing. We don't know anything about the human mind, really. We know very little about it. We know very little about how the brain works. Let's start trying to learn more, man. Not just scientifically researching the actual brain matter and stuff, but let's just research ourselves. Let's start looking at our own delusions, our own dreams, our own nightmares. Anyway, so that's what this is all about, this big conglomeration that I've just put together on this video. I hope it explains a little bit about what I'm trying to do, and please be understanding that this is totally unprofessional and I probably seem like a fool. But here we go. Let's start this adventure, huh?